So there's preemption laws throughout the country. And if for those of you on the webinar who don't know what those are, basically there are states that will say, a municipality is preempted or cannot make a legislative decision or a piece of legislation on a certain subject. And we see that with single-use plastic. So saying that a municipality can't make a single-use plastic ban, only the state can. So, Chris, you and I live in a state where this is an issue that's going back and forth right now. So I just wanted to maybe start with you, how does preemption laws affect your work, and how can this data really help kind of, work against those laws?
So Philadelphia led the charge in challenging that law, and we wanted to join that. But within the city, we had to convince not only the public, but internally, city staff, law, all these people that it'd be worth joining this lawsuit with Philadelphia to take on those preemption laws. So having any kind of data to support that, and Litterati obviously being a part of that, but then what has been the state of several of our programs over the years. That they've asked a lot about what we have done leading up to this in order to convince even ourselves that it's worth taking this on. So having more and more and more is always going to be a high priority.
And and again, a follow up to and if Allison or Miho, you want to address that, the preemption side, and even Miho, we had talked about this, interested in, one way, if just because a city bans something and it's gone through, that doesn't mean a preemption can't happen in the future. So I know that a lot of this legislation has continued evaluation, continued efficacy of the ban built into the legislation, that it's being monitored. So yeah, can you speak to that, and also maybe how that ties into using that to kind of overcome some of these preemption conversations?
Yeah, I would say that, the evaluation piece is really important. And so we recommend that that is built in when developing the ordinance. And so whether it's seeing that there's less single-use carryout bags being given at a store, or the amount of plastic litter found in the environment. So again, I think Chris mentioned more so looking at the percentage. If you have a baseline, you're able to have that context as to how these bag bans are positively affecting the community. And so we say that it might be best to, the implementation or enforcement agency might be the most appropriate entity to implement a report like this. And so in New York, we know that the New York bag law required that the sanitation commissioner conduct a study 2 years after the law went into effect. And so making sure that, where these bag bans, where they have the intended outcomes. And I would say on the preemption side of things, data is really important. And then also, lawmakers want to hear from their constituents. So making sure that we have the data to back it up. And we also have people in their district pounding on their doors and making sure that they hear from them.
That's great. Now, yeah, thanks. And that's exactly, again, it's not just about the first ban. It's there's all the other things that kind of come with it. And then also continue to make sure you made the right decisions. That's really important.